Hi everyone. I'm starting a new video series on Wednesdays for Wellness Wednesday, and I'm here to answer any questions you might have about yoga, health, wellness, diet, whatever comes to mind. So I have a couple of questions that people have asked me from a while back that I want to answer. The first one is about perimenopause. So the stages leading up to menopause and entering menopause, and how it relates to practice and some of the problems that one might experience when they're in this stage of life. So if you're a woman and you're in your early to mid 40s, usually you start to experience some symptoms of pre-menopause about 6 years before you actually enter menopause, and you don't fully enter menopause until you haven't had your period or had menstruation for at least 1 year. So leading up to this point can be even 6 years or a little longer, or for some women less. They might not experience any symptoms at all. But hormones are very powerful, as we know, especially as women. If you've gone through pregnancy, you really recognize the power of hormones. They affect every tissue in our body. And there's a lot of conditions that come up when our hormones are in flux and changing. And this is a pretty major change for us in our lives as we start to enter a new stage. And so some things that can be affected are greater levels of fatigue, muscle and joint pain, and also depression, anxiety, insomnia. There's a lot of things that hormones affect, and disturbances or disruptions in our regular hormones will have these kinds of challenges for us. So what can we do? One major thing, if you're experiencing joint pain because of these hormones and the changes that happen, estrogen is a type of hormone that can protect and lubricate your joints. And so when estrogen drops, as it does during perimenopause and into menopause, what can happen is the aches and stiffness increase around the joints, and also inflammation. So low impact exercise is really good. So your yoga practice is very helpful for you. And then also trying to eat more of an alkaline diet, avoiding the things that increase acidity and inflammation in the body. So those would be two main things to keep up with. But some other things that you might want to watch is if you're experiencing shoulder pain or wrist pain or elbow pain or hip pain, you need to modify your practice. So take it easier, maybe practice less, do less vinyasas, take more time to rest, do the asanas that you can do without causing yourself greater inflammation and pain. I think that's a really important thing to note, that especially when hormones are changing and shifting, you probably will need to adjust and adapt your practice so that you can take care of yourself and your practice can really nurture you while you're going through these changes, because they're real. It's not just in your head, it's a real physiological change that's happening. So you have to respect your body and also respect the way that these changes are going to impact your mind as well. So if you're not sleeping, you have some insomnia, maybe you have to take a little bit better care of yourself and sleep a bit longer, make your practice a little shorter. Also, sometimes people experience greater stiffness and aches and pains in the morning, especially. So if it's possible, perhaps you can shift your practice time to a little bit later in the morning rather than really early, because you're going to experience a lot more resistance then in your body and maybe possibly your mind as well. So these are just a few tips and things to try and help you along the way. Remember, the practice is good, it is helpful, it's very beneficial to you no matter what you're going through, no matter what stage of life you're in, but you need to feel empowered to adapt your practice so that you're not causing more harm or more stress or more fatigue on your body, especially when you're going through changes in life or you have new responsibilities, new stresses, new things going on. So I hope that's helpful, and sorry it took me so long to do this one, but here it is. And I look forward to chatting with you all on next Wednesday.